Clash Royale have added Mega Draft, meaning you can come to the events tab, scroll down, and play Mega Draft whenever you want. Just like a grand challenge, this goes up to 12 wins. The more wins you get, the better your reward, but 3 losses and you are out. Mega Draft is one of the funnest game modes in Clash Royale and one of the most skillful. And today I'm going to be sharing my secrets, giving you guys the best tips and tricks on how to draft a deck and win more games. So yo, I really hope you guys enjoy. If you do, leave a like. Also, if you could subscribe, it really supports me. And let's hop right into it. Into a game, and you guys can see we have a selection of cards. Me and my opponent take turns picking from this selection, and that's how you draft your deck. Now, the number one tip is start with a spell. The spell selection is very limited, and you want to make sure you have a good spell. So I'm going to start with the Fireball. After you have a good spell, go for the premium cards. The cards that are very hard to deal with. In this case, I'm going to go Goblin Hut because the spell selection now is not good. He goes for a Rocket. If he rockets my Goblin Hut, that's a -1 trade, plus I still get Spear Goblins. He then goes with a Sparky. I'm going to pick the Monk. The Monk can reflect the Rocket, it can reflect the Sparky. The Monk's going to get great value. On top of that, I'm going to pick the Electro Dragon. 1 is a flying unit, going to be super hard to deal with, but 2, it can also deal with that Sparky. So this guy goes Barbarian and then Archer Queen. I'm going to go for a Barbarian Bow here. Just a good versatile card, going to help me cycle. My deck's a bit heavy right now. And we're also going to go for Bats. Again, it's a very cheap cycle card. Now this is another big tip. Pick your win condition at the end. My win condition this game is going to be Minor Balloon. That's another reason why I started to pick the air counters. I knew that very early on, and this guy's in a ton of trouble. Going to start with my Goblin Hut because he doesn't have a good answer to it. My Goblin Hut is now a win condition and should get me really good value. We are going to Fireball this Queen, should take her out along with the Spear Goblins, which is awesome. If you draft a good deck, you can win very easily. If you draft a bad deck, you will lose. Anyway, we went with a balloon there just to cycle and then Bats on his Hog Rider. That's fine. I wasn't expecting much from that push, but what I really want to do is first switch lanes, but secondly, get another Goblin Hut down. He does not have a way of dealing with this, and this is going to eventually win me the game. Slow and steady wins the race in this case, and here we will Barbarian Bow these Barbarians, also going to hit the Queen, which is nice, and we do have some Spear Goblins helping out. Going to also go for a Monk here, going to try and help out against the Queen. There we go, very nice. And we have some Spear Goblins going towards him with a Monk. He has to deal with this somehow, some way, otherwise we get infinite damage. Going to use the ability there just to help out, and that's fine. He wasted the Tesla, that is important, so we are going to go with a Balloon here, Bats, and then Miner round the back. A bit late on our Miner, that's fine, I had to cycle to it, but you guys can see this Balloon makes it to the tower, and the Bats with the Balloon just destroyed him. I didn't play insanely good this game, I just drafted a better deck. And that's all you have to do in this game mode, is just draft a better deck. Anyway, we are going to Electro Dragon this Sparky, going to Barbarian Bow this Queen to take her out. And honestly, it's game over. There's nothing this guy can do. He goes for a defensive Tesla. We are going to Miner onto his tower. Balloon coming in hot. And I'm going to throw this guy the early good game. Once you learn the secret to Mega Draft is very easy. Okay, into another game. And like I said, first choice, always start with a spell. We are going to pick Poison, probably the best spell in draft, and this guy starts with a Miner. So I'm going to draft the Tornado. Hopefully I can get a King Tower activation, and I'm also going to draft the Monk. Now, something I noticed right away with this draft selection is there aren't a ton of resets. So I'm going to go for that Inferno Dragon because it's going to be very hard to deal with. He also went Skeleton Bow, so we do want a defensive building. So I'm going to go for a Goblin Cage, and I have a deck in mind. This guy goes Queen, my Monk can counter the Queen, so that's fine, and he goes Valkyrie. So here I'm picking the Ice Golem and the Executioner. Executioner Tornado is a deadly combo, can pretty much defend anything, and my final card is going to be that Balloon. And this guy's last pick were the Drill and the Electro Spirit. So honestly, again, I feel like I have a good deck. I feel like I have a real deck, and this guy has a very weird mess. Anyway, he starts the game off with a Minor Skeleton Bow push, so we are going to Ice Golem here and play our Cage. Obviously just going to try and defend the best we can, and that's fine. This guy then goes with a drill, very aggressive. We are going to just Inferno Dragon that and then Monk, obviously making sure we don't take too much damage. But this guy did not draft a ton of air counters, so honestly my balloon here is going to get good value. Going to use my Monk's ability to reflect the Barry, and this balloon should do some damage. Inferno Dragon is already locked onto the tower, melting it, and it's that easy. Again, some key moments. I recognized very early on there wasn't a ton of good resets. I also recognized that this guy didn't draft a ton of air counters, and this game was over before it started. That's why I say drafting is 70% of this game mode. Draft a good deck and you just automatically win. He was able to take my tower by being overly aggressive, but honestly I can just Monk balloon in the pocket like this, and it's really hard for him to stop. Going to just poison all this, Executioners lined up with the tower, and that is going to be a good game. Nothing this guy could have done. We would have 3-crowned him if the game continued, and just a dominant performance. But hey, my first ever Mega Draft, we get 12 and 1. I am happy about that. We get 11 epic cards, 110 rares. Let's open up the chest, see what we get. We get gold. Fantastic. We get some rare wild cards, elixir collectors, Rascals, Barrys, Lightnings, Electro Giants, Prince, Royal Recruits, Ice Spirits, Teslas, Elixir Golems. We need to see a ton of epic cards. Boom, we get 7 Baby Dragons, we have a flashing one, and it's going to be a legendary card. That is awesome. We get a Ice Wizard. Not bad. And there we go. My first ever Mega Draft was a great success. But yo, I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, make sure you leave a like. Of course, subscribe if you have not already. And as always, make sure you guys take care, brush your hair, and peace out. Woo!